6, 2022 meeting. Ms. Doyle, the ARB attorney, would you read the legal regulations for our hybrid meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good morning. In accordance with the Town Board's adoption of Local Law Number 14 of 2022, the Board's meetings are being held both in person here at Town Hall and via video conference through Zoom webinar. The link to participate in this meeting via video conference can be found on the town's website at the Town Clerk's Agendas and Meetings portal. If you do not wish to join the live meeting, you can still watch the live stream video and submit written comments for the public record through the town website. Our Zoom webinar is being moderated by CTV. If you are attending via Zoom and you wish to speak during the meeting, then we ask that you please type in the chat box that you would like to speak and which application you are here for, so then our CTV moderator can let you in at the appropriate time. As a reminder to all applicants, agents, and members of the public, who wish to speak at this meeting, please state your name and hamlet of residence for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Since our vice chair is not here, Mr. Jankowski, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Jankowski.
My pleasure.
Okay, Mr. Jankowski, the board secretary, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Keys?
Here.
Mr. Burke? Here. Ms. Albert?
Here.
Myself and Mr. Chairman.
Chairman.
So we do have a full quorum.
Thank you very much. Did all the board members review the minutes of the August 2nd meeting?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay. Is there any errors or omissions?
None.
If none, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the August 2nd meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's carried. Any old business to come before the board that is not on the agenda? If none, then we'll start with the agenda. First application on the agenda is the sign application, which is British Hampton Commons, Petco. And would the applicants come up, please? Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Okay.
Michael Shiano from InterScience Research Associates.
Right.
So this is extremely simple. Under the master sign plan that was approved, I think was last year, every time that there is a sign with a logo on it, we have to come and speak with both you and the planning board. This sign logo was technically already approved. However, they want to move it to the other side of the sign. So this is the way that it was approved. The Petco logo was on the left side of the text, and now they just want to move it over to the right. Everything else is identical, and that is the only change that they want to make, but technically we do have to come to you in order to get
Right,
it approved.
okay. Thank you. Ms. Keys is the lead board member on this application. Would you give the board your comments and decision?
I don't see any reason why it makes any difference. There's a part of me that doesn't understand why, but that's none of my business. Anyway, I see no reason to not approve it.
It was the preference of the company to
Okay.
have it. I guess on all of their other signs. I don't know why it did not come up when we were here for all of the signs and why it wasn't just on the other side to
I
begin with.
see.
However, when we're in the process of getting all of the paperwork together in order to submit for building permit applications for the sign.
It's moot. It's really.
Exactly, I know. I just wanted to give you a little bit of, yeah. So,
But whatever, it just doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
It seems fine to me.
understood.
Oh, it's okay. All right, Mr. Jankowski, comments?
No issues.
Okay. Mr. Burke?
No issues.
Ms. Albert?
No issues.
And I don't have any issues
Okay.
with it because it didn't change the size of it
No.
Nope.
at all. Okay, is there any comments from the public on this? And if we didn't have any comments on the public, We need a vote. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay.
It's approved
Thank you very much.
from us.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I have to go to planning board, I understand.
Thanks, Michael. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, next is substantial residential, 1201 Noyak Path. Are applicants here for this?
They might be coming in by Zoom.
Do you have a name?
Let's see.
Can you call it again?
One second. Let's see.
Can you just ask again, because I just had a few people come in.
Oh, yeah. So this is 1201 Noyak Path.
Can't even see it. Can you? How can you get that?
I have no hands.
All
No
right.
hands.
No hands, so,
Move it.
Yep.
okay. And you have the digital drawings of it?
No, I do have a hand.
Hang on.
Okay.
See, look, that's what I got.
I mean, we can look at it.
Yeah, all I just have,
Yeah, I have someone coming in.
okay.
Okay, we can, if there's no objection, we can delay this and then have, we can review other
No, they're
applications.
coming
They're
in right
coming,
now,
oh,
is
there
what
they
he
are.
said.
They are?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, I am trying to start the video, but it's saying the host has stopped it, so. um,
1 second.
Also, our client, I'm Michelle Hugo, architect for ZOH Architects. Our client, Roy Cohen, has also been asked to join this meeting. I don't know if he's in our chat was disabled, so I couldn't say that we wanted to be part of this. But I had emailed Carrie
He
about
is
that.
coming in.
Hi.
There he is, okay.
There.
Hi,
Hello?
good morning.
Yeah,
You've
sorry,
got one
we
anchor.
we were on, but for some reason we couldn't, you couldn't hear us.
No problem. They're on now.
Yeah, good. Okay, we have the drawings and,
Do we?
We don't have everything, we just have 3 things. But I guess the applicant will go through and let us know.
okay,
what I can show.
Ms. Hugo, do you have drawings that you can put up on the screen?
I do. Yeah, the drawings were all submitted, but let me share my screen.
Well, we need digital drawings so that everyone can view them.
Okay.
Perfect. I like the site plan stuff. I like starting with the site plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like starting with the site plan.
Ah.
Makes it easier.
Do you want to start with the site?
Yes,
Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Yes, so I think Roy wanted to say a few words and then we can certainly answer
All right.
questions.
So we appreciate the opportunity to be on with you, and we also appreciate the oversight and looking at the plan. This has been, for Marie and I, this has been a sort of a lifelong goal to create a family home. Our kids live in New York, our families are close by, and so, you know, this has been something that we've looked forward to for for probably 30 or 40 years. And so we appreciate the opportunity to present this to you. We asked Michelle and Bob to help us design a home that was sort of classically Hamptons. The style of architecture we know and love. And so the object of this was to design something that looked like it has always been there, that it wasn't a new home, it didn't look out of place. And we think we've accomplished that. And we'd be happy to have you look at it. We're proud of the design and obviously the compliance with everything that is required of us.
Okay, yeah, can we go through the rest of the drawings, please?
Yes, so this is the site plan. It is a vacant lot and a wooded lot with some sloping topography on the south and the east sides. The front elevation is, let me know if I'm speaking and you can't see what I'm thinking
We
that
can.
you see, just so I am aware. But as long as you're looking at the front elevation, as Roy said, it's a shingle style home. We have chosen natural materials so that hopefully this home looks as though it's been here for 50 years. In the tradition of the area, as well as in the neighborhood, there's a mix. So, but Roy and Marie really lean towards this traditional style. We use stone at the first floor and on the chimneys to really ground this house. And the stone, I believe I sent a digital copy of the photo of the stone. It's a granite Ticonderoga. I can show you a photo if that.
No, we have it. We have it up on the other
Okay,
TV.
great.
That looks good.
So it has some browns and some gray tones, which we think will tie very nicely with the shingle as it weathers. The walls above on the second story are all going to be Alaskan yellow cedar, which will weather to a silver gray. And then the roof is a red cedar shingle shake that will also weather to a nice gray. It was very important that those, that we have materials that will have a patina and a natural look at the end of the weathering process. And then the porch roof is a lead-coated copper metal roof that will be also a dull gray as it weathers. The trim and the windows are all stone white, and that is just a Marvin color that is also in the traditional vein. And then there are some flower boxes and things. I can show you the other elevations. This faces the street, Noyak Path. This would be the rear elevation. They wanted to really let in a lot of light. This has a little bit more, glass than the front elevation, and just same materials throughout. The side elevations are, the garage is on the side, not to face the street, and the side door, and then there will be a screen porch at the rear. We also have a pool house, which is sort of and I don't know, hopefully you can see, large enough, but also has the same materials and is intended to be a mini version of the larger home, which would have the similar detailing, not to copy exactly, but to definitely relate to the house. And let's see. And you said you have the stone. This is the Ticonderoga ashlar pattern that we're looking at. Unfortunately, I didn't have a stone sample, but this is a pretty good representation of that stone. The stone white, that's really a terrible representation. I have chips, and it's very, the basic look. And then this was just an example of the roof for that front porch, which is that dull metal, dull gray.
Okay.
So,
Thank you very much for the presentation and the order of the presentation, which is important. One question I have before I turn it over to the lead of the area. On your lot, how much do you plan to clear? Because it's a very heavily wooded lot right now.
it is a heavily wooded lot. We are limited in clearing
I know.
to 25% clearing, and that would total 23,135 square feet, and we are clearing to 23,040 square feet.
Okay. All right, fine, thank you. Mr. Burke is the lead for this application, and would you share with the board your comments and approval or negative?
Yeah. Thank you, yep. I guess just back on the clearing, is there a landscape plan proposed or just screening sort of proposed at all on that site plan that maybe I didn't see?
Yeah, there is a landscape plan. We've been working with landscape details to come up with both the hard and soft scape. So if you can see that on your screen, this is the plan. There's 100-foot setback from the street, and I think we're at 107 feet at the closest point, which is the corner to the south of the property. This is, heavily wooded, as you said, and so there will be quite a bit of screening from the street, as well as we wanted to keep screening on both sides from the neighbors. We're a little bit towards the north due to the topography that it slopes down on the south side.
Yeah, the nice thing about this lot and vis-a-vis the neighbors, because we are respectful of our neighbors, is that the topography as you face the house from the street to the right, the topography is such that we won't see them and they won't see us. And on the left-hand side, the house that's next to us on the left is at a much higher elevation and forward. And so, again, we won't see them and they won't see us. And then behind the house, it elevates up significantly, and there's nothing behind us.
Okay. All right. And just for my own knowledge, is the proposed site plan consider any variances, or is everything proposed as a right?
Is proposed as right.
Okay.
No variances.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, I have no issues and would recommend approval.
Okay, Mr. Chinkowski?
No issues.
Ms. Keys?
I agree, no issues.
Ms. Alpert?
Yeah, I agree as well. I just think that it's kind of important to have the landscaping plan as well, to kind of be clear on what's submitted, but otherwise I have no issues.
Okay, so then, let me just clarify that. You would prefer them to submit a landscaping plan or a clearing plan?
I think there should be, with the proposal.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, or if that plan doesn't indicate what trees will be remaining, or such, maybe there can be a little bit more detail specified on when you complete your work with landscape details and such.
Okay, could you submit a plan you could even do it on the site plan, but with the clearing area and how much will be cleared on the site plan?
Yes, and the site plan, yes, we can. This plan that I'm showing you now does have all the shaded area is the uncleared, and then this red dotted line is the clearing that comes around.
Okay.
Did you want something more than that?
What you're looking at here is the landscape plan. This was actually drawn by landscape details because we wanted to make sure that you had that available to you because we know how important it is, the clearing calculations. So, you know,
Okay.
we wanted to be exactly sure that we did not over clear. So this is the landscape plan.
Okay.
Okay, it's hard to see from here, so I couldn't tell
Right,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, we will submit this. It was submitted as a drainage plan as well, but I didn't, I will submit this to you directly.
Well, if you're okay with it, we've seen it here.
Yeah.
So I think you don't need to submit it because it's actually submitted in the record now.
Yep.
It is in the record. Yeah.
Okay, all
So
good.
that's
Thank
fine.
you.
And, okay, I don't have any issues with the house or the clearing. I think you've done a good job, and I'm glad that the owners are cognizant of the privacy of the neighbors.
Agreed.
Is there do I hear a motion to approve on this?
Motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve, yeah, or second. Yeah.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve this application. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. You're approved,
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
and thank you.
for spending the time with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we appreciate the way the presentation was structured and as concise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Aye.
Have a good day. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, next on the agenda is Southampton Farm Supply LLC. If you'll come up.
Morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Stephen Mezaneski and Cole Mezaneski, 512
Right.
County Road 39, Southampton Farm Supply. And you said we did submit the PDF form of the, so you should have that if you pull
Okay.
it up.
You don't have it?
I don't have it.
Can you email that over right now? All right, I'll email it to you right now.
Okay.
We have a hard copy.
Are you looking it up?
So we're interested in the site plan, the actual plans.
Yeah, well, we're interested in the site plan and the elevations.
Okay, we have all that here, and he does have it on PDF. He'll send over momentarily. So if you're all familiar, this is the Connie Roscoe Potato Barn on County Road 39. And we're not changing the structure, we're just restoring the building and repurposing it for our offices and a nursery and landscape supply.
Whose email should that go to?
Excuse me,
should
Ms.
email
Doyle,
it to you.
the email goes to you?
Yes.
Planning sent
So
it
it's
over.
K- Oh, they sent it over
Yeah,
just
planning
now?
did send it over, Claire sent it
Okay.
over to you.
Okay.
So you're leaving the exact footprint, did you say?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Well, the structure, everything.
The structure, we're restoring the structure, and as all the plans have showed that we've done. Here is your site plan, I mean, the parking and everything were the requirements required by the town. We've moved, the entrance was right here, right across from the gas station. We've, it was my suggestion, they liked the engineering, everybody liked that we move it all as far down as we could to not interfere with the light and the traffic there in the evenings.
Yes.
Coming into here, we have some new landscape vegetation along the property line here, retaining wall here.
Take it out to the speaker.
Yeah. Oh, you got this. Yeah, this.
Sorry. Small retaining wall here, so that we can, as of now, the way the grade goes, you drive up into the back of the building on the second floor. So with the retaining wall, we'll still have that small gravel driveway going up into there, whereas your parking lot will be here, landscape pins. Instead of going into there'll still be garage doors here, but we're gonna have a patio here. Instead of entering from here, which is very dangerous, we'll be making two doors coming into the basement from this side. Actually, I believe it was your board that had recommended we are doing the cedar shakes on the roof, cedar siding, and it'll be very similar to the stone she just showed you, the granite stone fascia along the basement, so that it's,
Right.
yeah, and it's basically a restoration of a well-needed restoration of a barn and repurpose of it.
Right.
So It's been an eyesore for a long time.
You have elevations or no?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. 'Cause until we get we can,
Well, here's, so I don't know if you can see, we're using AIA updated septic systems in the front here.
yeah.
A very extensive drainage plan to keep all the runoff on the property.
Elevations are gonna be.
They're on that one.
You got it.
Where are they?
And you have a limit, your favorite.
The engineer, not me, so. Here is, this is the rear elevation. This would be the front elevation facing McGee Street and the gas station.
Yes.
So instead of being 4 doors there, we're going to make that 2 doors now. Cupolas, right now, I believe there is 8 up there. We're going to reduce it to 5 just because it was a little overpowering with the 8, and they're going to be more of a decorative cupola than those big aluminum things up there.
Yeah.
Basically just replacing all of the windows, or the only new addition of the 2 doors here on the first floor. So you can see the stone fascia along the concrete to beautify it. And the existing apartment will remain upstairs. And here's your front elevation does change. We're adding 4 small dormers to put natural light inside, because there's no light inside there right now.
I want to interrupt you, but 1 second. Claire is not in today, so if you send them to her, she's not
We
in.
sent to her like a week ago.
Is this what you sent? What you're showing?
Same
us?
exact.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Can
did.
you send it?
This is
Yeah.
fine.
Both.
What
Yeah,
we're
we
doing
sent it to
Yeah.
her last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
show
we'll
that.
do, I mean,
Can you send it? If you have an email, I can send it to you right now. It's on our phone.
This is
Okay.
serving the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
All of
great.
us are here.
but if you can send it, because so
Yeah.
we can have it.
Yep.
At least if Claire's got it, then we know we can get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Keep
can do
going.
it right now. He has it on his phone, so. All right, so the only major difference on this building is the 4 dog houses on the front.
Right. And the front.
And the
Just
front
adding the
door.
2 doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, removing 2 doors.
Removing 2 and then adding them.
Yeah,
on.
you're
Yep.
adding and you're,
Yep, yep. And actually, those doors, he drew them in as all glass, but they're not. They're going to be, as the existing doors are, they're going to be the roll-up doors with the glass up top.
yeah.
Otherwise, someone's going to go there and smash the door in the first weekend.
Right, I know you don't,
It's just not a good area, that corner.
because this is the major
That's it.
elevation.
The street.
Yes, this is the street side right here. Right now, there's dirt going right up to the roof. That elevation is going to drop down. There's going to be a nice lawn up front, and you'll have that stone fascia, so it's actually going to be visually much
Yeah.
nicer than what is there now. And then this is that back elevation facing Rank-Backs there, where you drive in, and same deal, roll-up door with some glass in it.
Okay,
And all of this is existing, we're just restoring it.
yeah. Well, Mr. Rump is the lead board member on this application. He's absent today. But I'm familiar with the study, the County Road 39 study, and also the area quite a bit. So I'll just take over in his absence. One of the things that was in the study is this building was like a landmark for most people coming into the Hamptons. And I know the village of Southampton, even though this isn't in the village, they were like, when people saw this, like landmark, they thought, I'm in Southampton. So this is why they were so picky about this being in that County Road 39 study. Do you have materials? I know you did the stone, but what about the roof and the trim on the windows
Yes,
and the
the
cupolas?
So let's start off with the roof is existing cedar shakes.
Yes,
It's going to be cedar shakes.
okay,
We had suggested originally we were going to do a metal standing seam roof, but we took suggestions of your board actually in the original meeting, and we've changed it all back. It's going to be original cedar.
yeah,
The siding is going to be cedar. Cupola is a cedar. I mean, it's all natural materials, and then the granite is going to be very similar to the granite that she showed you in that picture.
okay. And what about the trim on the windows?
Cedar.
Cedar?
Yep.
Just natural, plain
Yep.
cedar?
Yep.
Okay. All right, fine. With that, I have no issues on it.
Yep.
Mr. Jankowski, comments?
No issues, I think it's gonna look cool.
Okay, Ms. Albert?
Yeah, so I have a question.
Yes.
So, so this building is kind of like it was mentioned before that it's kind of a landmark, and I have a question about those cupolas on the roof, because the new ones seem to be kind of like a new addition. They don't look like the old ones that were there, and I question that a little bit, because not that you would want to keep everything the way it is, obviously you don't, but then what's the point of putting new cupolas if they serve no purpose, right? And you're not keeping the historical look of the building. So that's kind of my issue a little bit about these cupolas, because they don't seem to be going and matching the building as it is historically at all.
Okay.
So let me just clarify, you're talking more
About those
about the
things-
shape then
I'm
of the
talking about the
cupola.
shape and the reduction in the number of them.
Because right now they're aluminum, I
Right,
think,
but
or
they're like 8 or 9.
Rusted
and now they're
aluminum.
five.
rusted aluminum, well,
Yeah.
They're not aluminum, they're stainless.
stainless, or
Industrial.
whatever,
Right.
but they're rusted.
Yeah, like if you put new ones, what's the point of putting new ones in?
There's actually, believe it or not, those cupolas are a ventilation system for the entire building.
Okay.
There's, in the walls, they built in wooden ducts that go all the way to the basement, and it generates air. So these are actually louvers that will be set on top of the existing vents that are in the walls that go down. And what that does is the reason this building is still standing and the interior is in good shape, even though the exterior is all rotted out, is because there's been airflow through the walls and through everything. So they actually do serve a purpose. They serve the purpose of letting natural air flow through from the basement all the way up to the ceiling. So they will be set on top of those big, if you wanted to stop by, I could show you, there's these great big vents up in the attic
Right,
that
but-
they set on top of.
But also, the second point of that question was, historically, they do have a practical form to them. They have a practicality, right? But now there's this decorative element on top of it, which actually doesn't, in my opinion, does not go with the rest of the building. And so I have a little bit issue of that decorative element on top of it.
Okay. I mean,
You know.
I've restored 5 historic old barns on our farms that we own. And we've used these type of cupolas before. It's just, I can get the big industrial cupolas, but everybody's going to be calling the town and asking, why do you have these really ugly cupolas on top of this building?
Can you explain what the difference is between the ones you're taking down and the ones you're putting up? Because
These will be constructed out of cedar with a copper roof on them.
What's the size difference?
Same size because they have to fit on top of those,
Okay.
the vents that are there.
Yeah.
They're not going to be as wide because those sit on top of the vents and then they have a big circular
Right.
aluminum vent on top of them. I mean, the reason we did this, visually, we figure it's going to look 100 times better than the industrial. We're trying to make it look more of a historic farm building as opposed to a industrial.
So the
farm
decorative
building.
pieces are parts that would be more inclined to an older piece?
Yes, yes. Whereas we can put the same exact ones up there, but it's gonna look industrial, and it's not gonna look visually pleasing when people look at it. I mean, I did think about just having somebody custom make new one, but it's just, it'll look like somebody put a metal vent on top of a cleaners or something. It's not gonna,
So you think they're too industrial?
yeah, it would look too industrial, it really would. I mean, we were trying.
And these actually are more elegant, in your opinion?
Correct. I mean, it's more of something you would see in a historic old potato barn in the Hamptons as opposed to an industrial factory. So,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Does that
Vote.
conclude your comments, Ms. Albert?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% in favor of it, but okay, that's fine.
I mean, we've tried as hard as we can to restore this. It is not a historic barn either.
No,
It does not meet the regulations for
I know.
historic.
Look, I was called in to redesigned this is many years ago, for a nightclub. So,
Can we put an airplane hanging at the top, too?
yeah, I was very familiar with the building, the ventilation system and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I never got to the point where we were going to change the cupolas. But it wasn't feasible because it was too much work to do.
Well, I think that's why so many people have walked away from this
Right.
project, because it's expensive to restore this building.
It is, very.
And, I mean, it would be a lot easier just to take a machine, demolish it, and put a modern building up.
Yeah.
But my son's the fifth generation out here.
Yeah.
Our great-grandparents came as migrant potato farmers. So for us, it's a little bit sentimental to restore that and have it in the town for the next 100 years.
Well, the town felt the same way you did, so.
No, it's a cool building. I love the building. I mean, that's why I'm just kind of like,
No, I appreciate your comments.
you know.
All right, Mr. Burke, comments?
No issues.
Ms. Keys, comments?
I think it's going to be fantastic, and thank you so much for actually putting the effort into this building. It's very important for the town, and it's rare that someone comes in here and says, we're simply leaving the footprint and continuing. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, and, okay, any comments from the public on this? If none, a transmittal letter would be sent to the planning board and says this is a site plan with the comments from this board. And Ms. Albert's comments will also be noted at that time.
All right, great.
So,
All right. Thank you
okay,
very
thank you very much for the presentation.
much. Oh, thank you.
We sent both of those over.
We did email all those over, so you.
Thank you.
Right, good, thank you very much. Okay, we have a next application, is Doris Fanning, 88 West Montauk Highway. Is the applicant available for this?
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Good day.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks.
If not. No, if there is not, we can also hold it for the end of the meeting, and if they show up for some reason. Okay, next is Long Island Automobile Collections. Is the applicant available?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Joe Lombardi from the Rayner Group.
Yeah, hi.
Representing the North Six. I'm not sure, we submitted a modification, a site plan modification to Claire. I'm not sure what she shared with you, and she forwarded things over, but I brought elevations and floor plans if,
This is right across from the deli and the laundromat, right?
yes.
Okay.
It was the old Quonset hut
Yeah, yeah.
building.
I got it.
Yeah, this is, well, one of them.
What's going on here is there was supposed to be, they were supposed to restore and rebuild the old auto museum building. And there, in front of that, they were supposed to build an office building. Right now, with the cost of construction being what it is, they're holding off on building the office building. They're converting a portion of the old automobile museum into offices. So as a result, what happens is, I have extra copies of,
Yeah, you didn't have digital?
we have them, but I'm not sure what Claire might have sent to you. But I'll make sure when I go back to the office, I'll
Right.
send these to you.
See, well, they already
Oh.
started doing it, like you said, so now it looks like.
We're adding that part.
Okay, fine. Mr. Ru-
No, actually, that part existed
Okay.
initially. But what's happened,
Did the back exist?
not in that configuration.
That's quite a bit to not to exist that doesn't exist.
Well, we have a site plan approval, and this has also been to the
Yeah,
architecture
this
review board in the
was
past.
So
approved.
just show me what you're changing then.
Yeah,
All we're changing is the overhead door on the front, and the pedestrian door. We're taking those out, and we're putting some additional windows in.
Okay, and that's the only changes you're making?
That's the only change that we're making.
Because this looks exactly like what we've reviewed at one.
That is exactly, that's what's
Now
been
we get
approved.
it. So now that's
Yeah.
what he's showing with this one.
Well,
Yeah, there are extra copies of the,
okay, I can,
And in this.
yeah, since
So now you just
Mr. Rump
see this gigantic
uh,
from the road.
is absent today, I'll take over as the lead, because it is County Road 39.
right.
Thanks. My comments as they were before, I didn't have problems with this at all.
Okay.
I like it better with the fact that you're getting rid of this big door.
Okay,
I think it should have been on the side.
okay.
These are my comments, even if you look in the record, they're the comments I had at the time. I greatly appreciate you putting the windows in and making this area smaller.
Okay,
Materials are going to remain the same,
correct.
fine. And just as an added comment, I objected to the office building
Oh.
that was in the front because it was design-wise in stark contradiction to this, the vernacular of this structure
Right.
from the beginning, what the County Road 39 would have seen. So I don't have a problem with this at all. Ms. Alpert, comments?
I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Burke?
No.
Mr. Jankowski?
I'm okay with the changes.
Okay. Ms. Keys?
Absolutely fine with the changes.
Okay, fine. Any comments from the public? Okay, if none, then this is another case where a transmittal letter be sent
Right.
with the consensus of this board
Okay.
going, so fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we're going to need one of these.
Okay, and
This one.
Yeah,
is that
this
the
one.
changes.
Yeah.
that shows the changes.
Right. This is the one, yeah.
How many units are in the building, just out of curiosity?
I'm not sure. There's an office area in the front that's about 2,000 square feet, and the rest will be used for storage of vehicles. That's why they're,
I got it,
Yeah.
got it.
okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for your
Right,
time.
okay. Next is Lewis Road, PRD, 74 Spinney Road, East Quogue. Are the applicants here?
I was going to say, Anthony shared this morning.
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
Good morning, Wayne
Good morning.
Bruin, O'Shea, Marcinson and Bruin on behalf of DLV Quag LLC, and one of the principals, Mark Kissy, project manager, is also here. Hello?
Okay, hi.
This also is a referral from the planning board on a site plan. This application has been subject to an environmental impact statement. I believe this board has seen, was referred that environmental impact statement. That was for a different project. The modified project, as it made its way back to the planning board at the pre-application stage and then the preliminary, we're now at final. So I believe you've seen this, but just to give you a reminder, and I don't think this was submitted to you, but there's a whole host of documents, and I don't know what was exactly sent to you, and we only got notice of this on Friday, that this was
Yeah,
being sent to you.
just be careful of
Yeah.
the speaker.
So I don't know if you all can see, but this is the Lewis Road planned residential development. It consists of 600 acres and various parcels. It's a cluster subdivision, and part of there's 118 lots and units, and part of the configuration in the clustering is a variety of house sites, as well as 8 of our units are actually going to be within common buildings. And so part of the planning board's review is not only the subdivision, but the site plans for the individual recreational facilities in these buildings. So just to give you a quick overview, this is Lewis Road. This is what we call the Hills South property, the Hills North, and these are the Parlato properties, all of which, everything you see here in yellow is going to be open space. Everything in this light brown will be open space. Essentially, in this area where you see white is where there will be a golf course. Down in this area will be a sewage treatment plant, administration, and maintenance facilities. The planning board insisted on a building for workforce housing for rentals, 12-unit building. So these are three of the site plans you'll see. There's recreational facilities here, and there is sort of a common area here where there's a clubhouse and a pro shop building and a recreation building. And on the second floor of those buildings, there will be 7 units in the clubhouse building and 1 unit on top of the pro shop building. And then throughout the rest of the golf course, there's comfort facilities and the like. So
What is a comfort facility?
bathroom. Lack of. So this proposal, what you were sent is, first is this, which includes each of the floor plans of the buildings.
How many units are there?
118 total, 8 condo units, which is in the clubhouse area, but 110 individual lots.
So these are the elevations from for the clubhouse building. You can see what we would call, and you'll see characterized through all the buildings, traditional shingle styled, both the roof and the siding. So this is the actual clubhouse. The buildings are all 2 stories, don't exceed 32 feet. There is a space in the basement, this for the clubhouse, but you can also go to each of the facilities. This is the pro shop building, a 2-story, where 1 unit housing the pro shop facilities below. And you can go right down. This is a little building near the common pool area. This is a gatehouse at the entrance of the facility. This is a farm stand building, which we have near the recreational facilities. This one is a field house also near the recreational facilities.
AKA comfort station.
And, well, yeah, comfort station. There's a little building near the tennis courts, tennis house. They call this a trail house, another comfort station. And a little pond house, which is, there's a man-made pond for irrigation and also boating facilities. So there is a bathroom facility in that as well. And then there was another portion of that. So you can.
And with that one, it's probably going to get eliminated because we've got this innovative plan for denitrifying the water. And the water's going to go into the pond, and we're going to use that to irrigate the golf course. And so our idea initially was to maybe have paddleboarding or fishing stuff up right out of here, but considering we're going to use it for irrigation and it's going to be nitrified, we're
So are
probably
you
going to
not
bag that
using
idea.
chemicals on the golf course?
What's that?
You're not using chemicals on the golf course?
No, we are using some, but it's all overseen by the town through Cornell University, who I was involved in building Sabonic before, so I did that whole integrated turf house management plan. And
So
we've
the
got-
greens
We've got that on
and-
steroids on this one.
And the tee boxes are all lined, and there's recycling and monitoring, same as Savannah. So the other set of plans that I hope you received is also the other 3 buildings, the turf care, workforce housing buildings. These are, given the nature, more commercial, but this is the workforce housing building. And so you have a composite vertical boarding use, but you have the pitch roofs, what is it? So the materials are all listed. So I don't know if you
Wayne, just
had a
show where
chance-
those are gonna be on the site plan, just for everyone.
So
Just show where the
again,
workforce ones are.
So the first thing to the south is a sewage treatment facility. Then you have the maintenance and administration areas, and then the workforce housing. And then the gatehouse, as the entrance comes off of Lewis Road. The gatehouse here, you come in, there's recreational facilities, so the little tennis pavilions and so on are right in this area. And you come up to this common area where the clubhouse, if you can see that little footprint there. And then you have the, this is the pro shop, and this one is the pool facilities there. And then I think this is one of the comfort stations, and there's another one up here.
And these are, these won't be able to be seen from Lewis Road. It's really a long way back, and we're berming in front of it with trees on the top of it. But we were required in our Pine Barrens Commission review to relocate the sewage treatment plant from a disturbed area of the property up
Yeah,
near
we
the sand
originally,
mine.
up near the sand mine, that is up in this location, we originally wanted to put it there, and then they said, no, put it down here,
Yeah,
near
and the
near
reason for that
cemetery.
was they wanted to keep it as far away as possible from the core preservation area of the Pine Barrens, but then also that it's now down gradient from the Suffolk County Water Authority. And, you know, when you hear sewage treatment plant, you think, oh my God, what is that? But it's nothing more than a glorified shed, to be honest with you.
Right, okay,
So
what are
this is the
the,
cemetery, by the way, in this location.
what are the materials for this workforce housing?
We've got to get our architects in to present that to you, but we're very flexible, to be honest with you.
The material
So
here-
whatever you think is right with the vernacular, we're good to go with.
So it's listed a composite vertical board and batten siding, light gray.
What?
It's not metal.
No, that's one of the things. And the
Oh.
colors, you don't have,
This says a light gray.
okay. All right, well, that concludes your presentation.
Well, that's all we have, and
Okay.
we were, like I said, we got notice that you were having this meeting Friday.
Wow.
If we had a little more notice, we would have perhaps had the architects here that could have, and if you desire that, I don't know when your next meeting is.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. If you want, we can have the architects come.
That would be the 20th. Well, let's see what the board has to say. Mr. Jankowski is the lead, and would you give the board your comments
Okay.
on this?
So again, familiar with the, with this area, and then I'm familiar with the plans, because I went and spoke with them as the fire chief.
Yeah.
So we kind of reviewed a lot of what was going on with this. Again, you're not gonna be able to see it from the Lewis Road. There is also Spinney Road that comes down that way, but there's housing that's on that, and you're not gonna be able to see behind it, where that is. That's where actually the golf course comes down through there, and then there'll be units on the opposite side of that.
Over here. One of the promises we made to people on Spinney Road was we wouldn't use that as the main entrance. It would always be there for emergency access if needed for the firehouse. But, so that's why this alternate access was created.
And then, so you see where the gatehouse is, you're not even gonna be able to see that from Lewis Road. I wasn't sure if that was gonna be out, so you won't even see that.
No, if
where
you're
that's
familiar,
coming.
this
That's
is
coming
the
through Cracky's
Kioski.
place there.
Yeah, this is Cracky property, which we acquired portions of. And then this is the Kioski farm, which all of this is preserved farmland, and then they had 5 lots created, which are actually in the wooded portion. So not the sort of the top of the property. The woods start around this location, so as Mr. Jankowski's indicating, you visually you won't see any of this. It'll be a community into itself.
Yeah, that's, I was just trying to at least tell the board that, that's about it.
Yeah.
So to try to give you the description of, you know, what I've seen and what they've been doing. So,
If you're ever driving by, actually, you know, we've got access to the property, as Mr. Jankowski said, you know, across the old Cracky farm. There's 2 old barns there. One's a blue one and one's a wooden one that's fallen to pieces. The entrance road will go right through the middle of there, and the owner of that wants to create that into an organic farm. So there'll be 2 large portions of organic farming. Right now, it's a tree farm. And then once you get sort of below the tree line, that's when you get into this area here, so. The, the maintenance facility and the affordable housing.
Okay, Mr. Jankowski.
I mean, I don't have any issues with it. Like I said, I've worked with them, so we're not going to be able to see it from the roads. Other than that, they've done everything that they have to when it comes to safety and whatnot. So I don't have any issues with it.
Okay, Ms. Alpert, comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Burke?
No issues either. Agree with the lead.
Ms. Keys?
I'd like to hold it over till we get the architects to have everything in, and because of the fact that it's such an enormous project for our community, I really would like to see it much more specifically, because here, there isn't really a landscape review plan. We don't have the materials exactly. I'd much rather have it be much more specific. This is a very large project for a small town. So
I would just point out that all those plans are part of the submission, so I don't, like I said at the beginning,
I'd
I'm
like
not
to go
sure
see
exactly what Claire has forwarded to you, but, I was able to just run down and grab these 3 plans, but there are specific site
Okay.
plans for each of the sites with landscaping.
Yeah, but I'd like to see it as a board member, not just assured that it's
Exactly, and
there.
among other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I want you to be able to look at all those plans, so make sure you do. in
Okay.
developing your report.
I'd like to go, I'm going to go there this week and see what it looks like, because it's just a large project to approve without a lot more information.
Okay, before I give my comments, I'm going to speak to the lead for the area. Would you be comfortable in holding it over till the 20th for the architect to come?
If we
and
want to
look
be
at
able to talk to
materials?
the, yeah,
'Cause it's
just,
your area, and
if that's going to make everybody happy, then, yeah.
you're right with that?
Happy to do it.
So just grab some,
So-
even if you have a storyboard, which you probably do already, so then
Yeah,
just
and
bring us that.
have it in digital so that the public can see it.
No problem.
Because
Absolutely, I
it
think
is a large project for an area, and also we do have to have digital so that the public can view it.
We're, our overall philosophy at Discovery is,
Yeah.
we do projects right now, everywhere from Hawaii to Dubai and everywhere in between. We've got 22 that have been done, we've got 14 in process, and we like to just immerse ourselves in the community and make sure that it's right for the community. And we've got no black marks so far, so.
Okay, well, if there's no objection from the board, I'd like to hold this over for the September 20th ARB meeting.
And that'd be 11 o'clock in the
What?
morning again?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
no problem. Lovely.
Yeah, all the meetings now are hybrid, and they start at 11.
Right.
So what I'll do is
You'll probably be the first on the agenda.
Okay, that would be great. What I'll do is I'll make sure that the planning staff has also sent you all at least a digital copy of everything that's related to each of
Right.
the sites.
Okay.
There is, I don't know if you would want, there is an enormous amount of material related to the subdivision. So
Well, all
we're
we-
just trying to focus on the
No,
architecture.
all we
aspect.
need, yes, is basically, and in digital form, because we're doing everything
Yeah,
digital.
they have everything digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
No
now
problem.
on, so, because as you were giving the presentation, you weren't aware, but the drawings
I
that
know,
we
Kelly
had,
was-
Miss Doyle was
Trying
putting
to
everything up
coordinate
and
best I
following
can,
you,
but-
because believe me, if we don't, we're going to hear it from the general public, so,
Wondering why you were looking up there.
yeah, that's why I just, okay, thank you very
All
much.
right,
Thank you.
lovely, thank you
Right.
very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Is there any other business to come before the board? If none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. Our next meeting will be September 20th at this year, at 11 o'clock. And remember, come into the building department and go through the drawers for, the residential applications. So.
I will not be here for.